ChatGPT Plus is free for college students through May. Here's the thing. You've got a lot to do between now and then. Studying for finals, writing papers, trying to keep your life on track, and ChatGPT can help with all of it. It can quiz you for your econ exam, make a study guide from your French notes, plan out your meals and study breaks. It can get really specific on how you like to learn. It can even help you come up with ways to stop procrastinating. So from now until summer break, take advantage of all the ways ChatGPT can make your life easier. Restrictions apply.
We off?
30 seconds of carefree bliss.
Oof, like wind in your hair carefree.
Oh, like using Clorox Disinfecting All-Purpose Cleaner in the home carefree.
Yes!
Like dog slobbing on the coffee table and cleaning it with Clorox Carefree.
He's on a roll now.
Spit toothpaste on the faucet.
You got it. You got it.
Peanut butter on the light switch.
Oh, spritz, spritz.
Spritz, spritz. Clorox, man. Clean feels good.
Okay, we're back.
Use as directed.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Welcome, my friends, to the Already It's Friday edition of the Rush Hour with Bo Snerdley. Welcome indeed. 800-848-9222 is how you reach us if you want to be part of the program this afternoon. 800-848-9222. And what a day it is, my friend. The President of the United States on his way to Rome to go to the funeral of Pope Francis, and we actually have him a few remarks from him before he departed. The big story today. Oh, the big story today. Let's just play the soundbite, shall we? As the reports started coming in, start with two, as PMSNBC
have taken the extraordinary step to arrest a judge for allegedly obstructing an immigration arrest. Let's get right to NBC's Gary Grumbach, who has been trying to work on getting this reporting for us. What do we know?
So what we know right now is that over the past several days and weeks, we've seen videos of people being arrested at courthouses by Department of Homeland Security officials when they show up for hearings to adjudicate their immigration status. And that is something we've seen over and over again over the past several weeks. Now, veteran circuit court judge up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, her name is Hannah Dugan. She's now being accused of trying to help out an undocumented immigrant avoid arrest. And I want to read to you FBI Director Kash Patel's tweet. He says in part, quote, "Just now, the FBI arrested Judge Hannah Dugan out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin on charges of obstruction after evidence of Judge Dugan obstructing an immigration arrest operation last week." He says, going on, saying, "We believe Judge Dugan intentionally misdirected federal agents away from the subject to be arrested in her courthouse at Eduardo Flores Ruiz, allowing the subject, who they call an illegal alien, to evade arrest." Now, they say that this individual was eventually arrested by DHS officials. This is something that is just developing, Anna, and we have not yet seen any court documents in this case, but we are awaiting further news on this topic.
Again, I know how fresh this is, Gary, but do we know how unusual is a situation like this for feds to arrest a judge?
Well, this is incredibly unusual. This is certainly not something we saw during the Biden administration, not even something we saw during the first Trump administration. But with the increase of importance of immigration as a priority to the Trump administration this time, this is what we have started to see. This is the very first time we've ever seen a judge arrested like this. But seeing these on-camera videos of arrests at courthouses of immigrants that are there to adjudicate their immigration status is certainly new here, Anna.
Certainly new. Yes, certainly new. Let's go to CNN. Why don't we visit the Pam, never smiling these days, Pam Brown. She's with Jason Kander. Got three.
Level judge in Wisconsin. The FBI just arrested a Wisconsin judge accusing her of shielding an immigrant from federal officials. When you're doing stuff like that, it makes people say, not enough people, mind you, but more people all the time say, that's not what I had in mind when Trump was talking about immigration. And these, by the way, are the same people who, when they talk about tariffs, are saying, I voted for Trump because he said he was going to lower prices.
This guy's a former Secretary of State of somewhere. And I love how Democrats continue to believe that they know what is in the minds of Trump supporters. The people that hate Donald Trump with a passion, that dislike Trump supporters, that say all kind of things about Trump supporters. The first one's out on TV. This is not what the Trump supporters had in mind. You don't know what the Trump supporters had in mind, pal. You have no clue. Let's get Wolf blitzed. Let's on CNN. He's on with Caitlin Pollins, the reporter there, on this story. Go ahead. That's cut 4.
Director Kash Patel says a U.S. judge has been arrested for obstructing an immigration operation. Let's go live right now to our senior crime and justice correspondent, Caitlin Pollins. Pretty dramatic. What are you learning?
Dramatic.
Truly, Wolf, this is something that we have certainly not seen before, but appears to be part of this aggressive approach the Trump administration has toward immigration. What the FBI Director Kash Patel announced in a social media post just a few minutes ago this morning is that now the FBI arrested Judge Hannah Dugan out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, on charges of obstruction after evidence of Judge Dugan obstructing an immigration arrest operation last week. We believe Judge Dugan intentionally misdirected federal agents away from the subject to be arrested in her courthouse. Eduardo Flores Ruiz is the name that the FBI director puts out there about that subject, allowing the subject to evade arrest. Thankfully, our agents chased down the perp on foot, and he's been in custody since. But the judge's obstruction created increased danger to the public. So that's the FBI director laying out this apparent story and the developments this morning, Wolf, of what is happening with this arrest. We have reached out to the Milwaukee County Circuit Court, which is where the judge sits, Judge Hannah Dugan. They have not responded yet. And there isn't any publicly available information in the court record about this. But it would be a startling development if this judge was arrested as she was working on the bench as a judge handling an immigration case for a case of a person that ICE was also interested in.
This stuff is dramatic. You're missing it.
Indeed.
Kevin, our program director just walked in. Kevin, this is dramatic. It's startling. We've never seen it before, Kevin. Ever in history. Never has a judge been arrested. Kevin, a judge was arrested today. Can you believe that they did that?
Can you fill me in a little bit?
Yeah. You know what? Stay right there. Because guess what I got? Pam Bondi's going to tell the story. We got Pam Bondi. Kevin, this has never happened before. Ever. It's dramatic. We've never seen it before, ever. Donald Trump.
To set the stage for you and Sandra, this was truly horrific. This guy was in court being prosecuted by a state prosecutor for domestic violence battery. He had beat up two people, a guy and a girl, beat the guy, hit the guy 30 times, knocked him to the ground, choked him, beat up a woman so badly they both had to go to the hospital. And John, you know, it's so rare for victims to want to cooperate. They wanted to cooperate. They were sitting in the courtroom with the state prosecutor. The judge learns that ICE was outside to get the guy because he had been deported in 2013, came back in our country, commits these crimes, charged with committing these crimes. Victims in court. Judge finds out. She goes out in the hallway, screams at the immigration officers. She's furious, visibly shaken, upset, sends them off to talk to the chief judge. She comes back in the courtroom. You're not going to believe this. Takes the defendant and the defense attorney back in her chambers, takes them out a private exit and tells them to leave. While a state prosecutor and victims of domestic violence are sitting in the courtroom.
Kevin, we've never seen it before. They arrested the judge. Are you afraid? Are you terrified?
I'm terrified.
Are you petrified? This is now open warfare in the judiciary.
Unprecedented.
It's never happened before, Kevin. Never. It has never happened before. In fact, the New York Times quickly put together a story. This is what has happened now. Judges now worry. Judges worry that Donald Trump could tell U.S. Marshals to stop protecting them. Oh, man. We've never, ever, ever seen anything like this before, Kevin, in history. What are we going to do?
I think we should all just hug our loved ones, start hoarding supplies, and never leave our basements.
Okay. This is a good idea because I don't know how we're going to survive this, folks. We've never seen it before. Judge has been arrested. Now, notice the details that Pam Bondi gave on exactly who this perp was. None of the other networks, except for saying his name, bothered to tell you at all why this guy was in court. None of the other networks decided to tell you, well, he was here and he's already been deported. And ICE was waiting for him. And they didn't tell you that he beat down a woman and somebody else. Beat them bad, sent them both to the hospital. But, and then the judge walks him out, he and his lawyer, out the back way, which is never happens. But, folks, we are living in unprecedented times. None of this has ever happened before. Kevin has just given you the best advice. Hug your loved ones, ladies and gentlemen, today. Hug them, your children. Gather them all near you, even some of them that you don't acknowledge, maybe some you know who you are. And hug your children and make sure you have enough supplies on hand because we've, as a country, have never, ever experienced this before. A judge has been arrested for breaking the law. It's unprecedented, and we're glad that we're in service here to warn you how to behave in these unprecedented times that we live in. James Golden, Snerdley. It's dramatic, folks. It's unprecedented.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Ladies, you'll end up shopping for your guy's deodorant, right? So try Degree's Original Cool Rush. You see, last year, Degree changed the formula, and men were mad. One guy even started a petition. So Degree admitted they messed up and brought the Original Cool Rush scent back. It's clean, crisp, and actually smells like someone you want to cuddle. And it's in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. So toss one in your cart and find out why it's the best-selling men's antiperspirant for the last decade. Degree Cool Rush is back, and it smells like victory.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix. 3 couples, 4 vacations, a lot to unpack. Watch The 4 Seasons, a new series starring comedy favorites Tina Fey, Steve Carell, Will Forte, Coleman Domingo, and more in a hilarious and heartfelt love letter to long-term relationships. Based on the original Alan Alda film. Watch The 4 Seasons, streaming now only on Netflix.
Experience a progressive lens engineered with AI from Essilor, powered by individual measurements of your visual behavior. A lens personalized to you by an Essilor expert. Discover Verilux XR Track and enjoy instantly sharp vision in motion and seamless transitions from near to far. Find your local Essilor expert today at Essilor.com.
Subtle results, still you, but with fewer lines. Botox Cosmetic, out of botulinum toxin A, is a prescription medicine used to temporarily make moderate to severe frown lines, crow's feet, and forehead lines look better in adults.
Effects of Botox Cosmetic may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness may be a sign of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Don't receive Botox Cosmetic if you have a skin infection. Side effects may include allergic reactions, injection site pain, headache, eyebrow and eyelid drooping, and eyelid swelling. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Tell your doctor about medical history, muscle or nerve conditions including ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects. For full safety information, visit BotoxCosmetic.com or call 877-351-0300.
See for yourself at BotoxCosmetic.com.
Sheryl Crow had a big anniversary yesterday. We missed the anniversary yesterday, but we're going to make up for it today by acknowledging just how important it was. I love this song. I love this song from the moment I first heard it. The year was 2007. Sheryl Crow made a big announcement. Said a ban on using too much toilet paper should be introduced into America and the world to help preserve the environment. The singer said that only using 1 square of toilet tissue per restroom visit, except, of course, on those pesky occasions when you might need 2 or 3 squares of toilet tissue, should be required. Only 1 square of toilet tissue for most normal toilet activity. If it were particularly harsh toilet activity, you might be able to use 2, maybe 3 squares of toilet tissue. Now, she made the comments while she was touring the United States on her biodiesel-powered bus. All of this to raise awareness about climate change. She also designed a clothing line that she called, it had a dining sleeve. It had sleeves that were detachable. So after dinner, you could detach your sleeve, wipe your mouth, throw it away, and then reattach another sleeve. That and the toilet tissue. Only 1 square of toilet tissue per visit. Unless you were having a pretty rough, unless things then you might be able to use 2 to 3 squares of toilet tissue. Well, those were the days, my friends, when the EIB network featuring Rush Limbaugh was all over the country, Over 600, how many radio stations? Over 600. And it didn't take long before we heard this.
Now that Sheryl Crow is leading by example, everyone wants to save the world by using only 1 sheet of toilet paper.
Ms. Simpson, may I have just 1 more sheet?
I'm sorry, Johnny, but it's against school policy.
Now, Sheryl has even more practical ways to save the world when you need to go, like sharing your sheet with a friend.
Hey, you want this? Maybe later. I only use
winding road.
Toilet paper. Try using discarded paper products you find beside the road.
Ow!
Or go native like the animals in the wild and just don't wipe at all.
Honey, we're out of toilet paper! Oh, we're not out. We're just going paperless this year. Isn't it great? Just think about what you're doing to save the environment.
I'm gonna use the bath mat.
Oh, no.
Okay, when this ends, go right to it.
To save the world.
Hi, this is Sheryl Crow. I'm driving this huge bus around America to spread the word about global warming. And I can't wait to shake hands with each and every one of you.
And my friends, we celebrate Sheryl Crow. What a day. And your 1 square of toilet tissue. Thank you to Mr. Mamone and Mike Mamone. Who is going to monitor the toilet paper usage, I am being asked. I'm not. That's for sure. You'll have to decide that among yourselves. And I'm hearing Lady Benedict says, tell Sheryl Crow that not everyone can afford what, to have someone else wipe their what? I'm not going to say that, Lady Benedict. It's anyway, it was a great idea. 1 square of toilet tissue. Unless you're having a rough time, then you can use 2 or 3. Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. Coming back. Don't go away.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
You guys, I just found the most incredible Mother's Day gift. It's called Goldbelly. Goldbelly is this amazing site where you can get the most iconic foods from restaurants all across the U.S., shipped anywhere in the country for free in time for Mother's Day. We're talking cakes from Ina Garten and Martha Stewart, Magnolia Bakery's famous banana pudding, and New York bagel brunches. Make Mother's Day perfect with Goldbelly.com and get 20% off your first order with promo code MOM. That's Goldbelly.com, promo code MOM.
Home means something different to everyone. But with Rocket Mortgage, home can mean even more. It can mean a college education, taming your high-interest debt, even a renovation. We've made it easier than ever to use your home equity. That home you worked so hard for, now it can work hard for you. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to find out more.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Number 3030.
This episode is brought to you by Factor. Optimize your nutrition this year with Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal service. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved, ready to eat in just 2 minutes. Choose from 40 weekly options across 8 dietary preferences like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Eat smarter at factormeals.com/listen50 and use code listen50 for 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. Factormeals.com/listen50. Code listen50. Terms and conditions apply.
Last week was our first playoff game, and my plaque psoriasis was so itchy under all my gear. Sometimes just thinking about scratching could take me out of the moment. And then my doctor told me I could get clearer skin with a pill called Otezla.
Otezla apremilast is a prescription medicine used to treat adult patients with plaque psoriasis for whom phototherapy or systemic therapy is appropriate. Otezla can help you get clearer skin after just 4 months.
Okay, ready for the next game. Talking to my doctor about a pill was a total game changer.
Don't use Otezla if you're allergic to it. Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing or swallowing, swelling of the face, lips, tongue, throat, or arms. Severe diarrhea, nausea or vomiting, depression, suicidal thoughts, or weight loss can happen. Tell your doctor if any of these occur and if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts. Live in the moment. Ask your doctor about Otezla. Call 1-844-4-OTEZLA or visit Otezla.com for prescribing info about cost, and more.
This video is for straight men and straight men only. I'm sorry, but how in the world could you not like me? Yes, I'm a trans woman, I'm a doll. Like, what is so different about dating me than a cis woman? I can do everything that she can.
I'm gonna keep posting about this all day because this is bullshit. I went and logged into my federal loan account, and this is what I found. I graduated in 2011 with $46,000 in student loan debt. My loan debt is now almost $90,000. In that time, I've been a social worker that has made income-based repayments on my loan for years, and that almost doubled. You want to know why people are pissed off about their student loans? It's not because we can't get anyone else to pay them for us. It is because you have set it up where we can never pay them off ourselves. And then you sit here and tell us into our faces that we are lazy, this is somehow our fault, while cheering on banks and auto industries and Elon Musk getting subsidies of millions of dollars a day. Anyone who still doesn't see that this is rigged against us can get...
There's a lot of anger out there today. Birthday today for Steve Ferrone, one of the... He's such a great drummer. Of course, he was drummer with the Average White Band. Had this one in 1975. Went to number 6 in the UK charts, number 1 on the American charts. Was the drummer for Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Also recorded, performed Duran Duran, Stevie Nicks, Christy McVie, Slash, Chaka, Eric Clapton, the Bee Gees, Squiddy Politti, Aerosmith, Johnny Cash, so many. He's a remarkable drummer, Steve Ferrone. James Golden, happy birthday, Steve. Snerdley with you here. George Soros was sentenced today to 7 years behind bars. I wonder if he will be next to Diddy at some point. Maybe he can borrow some of the baby oil because he's got a stretch of time to do. And I was speaking during the break with our beloved Jonas, and I just said, this is 7 years. Identity theft, fraud, identity theft. He was sobbing, by the way. They were all happy to report that. And I saw that story in a few outlets. So, Judge Santos sobbing, given 87 months in jail. And I was, and then I said, you think about this. I have read so many stories over the years where illegal immigrants and others in America have swiped people's identity, caused them all kind of grief, all kind of harm, and they don't get 87 months in prison for it. And you started to say something, but we were interrupted. What was that? You started to say that, Jonas?
Yeah, two wrongs don't make a right, so it's unfortunate that he's going to jail at this stage of his life, but he had all these years to think about not doing what he did, so two wrongs don't make it right.
I'm not saying he shouldn't be in jail. Don't you think the 7 years in jail is a little bit, he's first-time offender and all that business, and they kind of threw the book at him and then threw a few panties and used panties and tampons at him, too. I mean, come on. Not just the book.
In my opinion, it's tough because of how old he is. But let's say if he was 35.
Wait a minute. How old is he? Go ahead. I'm looking to see his age. He's 36 years old. How old he is? What the?
Oh, he's young? Oh,
he's 36.
I was under the impression he was like over 60 years old. So I had it wrong. But he's 36.
Does he look over 30? Does he look like he's 60-something?
I didn't see a picture of him. I mean, but 36-year-old, so I mean, if it's 8 years or however long it is.
He got 7 years in jail.
Illegal migrants and aliens should get the same amount of time. One, they shouldn't be in the country, but since they are, they should get the same amount of time, for things to be fair, of course, but...
I mean, people use stolen Social Security numbers to get work. We all know this. This goes on. This whole forged document thing, this is widespread across America. And I don't see anybody getting sentenced to like 7 years in the slammer for that.
That's why we have to hold our government more accountable.
He's who?
He's 94 years old.
George Santos is not...
Oh, Santos. I thought you said Soros.
Nobody's talking... Soros is not in jail. That would be the day that every liberal in America hung whatever flag they have, whatever blend of flags they have at half-mast, and decided to go out in the streets and riot if it was Soros in jail. It's Santos, a damn Republican. You don't think that they would ever sentence a Democrat to 7 years in jail for something, it's not minor. It is a major crime. But 7 years in jail?
That's who I thought it was, too, at first.
Where's your heart?
No. Like I said,
where's your heart?
I feel for him.
Where's your heart?
It's tough.
Where's your heart?
Where was his heart when he stole the money?
In his pocket.
And that's why his pocket is about to be in jail.
All right. And you want to play with me? I got news for you. All right, you call yourself, all you people out there that think you are spiritual beings and you're religious and you're good people, and there's a story today. I have it right here. A one-time migrant, now a bishop, asked Catholics. Those of you Catholics out there, please pay attention. I know many people in this audience are Catholic, and I love you. And, I've gone to Mass. I say that proudly a few times. Yeah, even though I have the missal, I read through the Catholic missal occasionally, just because I enjoy it. But this is, let's see, it's either WAPO or, this is Karen Tumulty, so it has to be Washington Post. An auxiliary bishop of the Archdiocese of Washington, appointed by Pope Francis, in late 2022, Evilio Meneval Ayala is among the most exalted ranks of the Catholic Church. He's addressed as Your Excellency. But 35 years ago, he was 19 years old, fleeing for his life from war-torn mountain village in El Salvador, smuggled across the U.S.-Mexico border illegally in the trunk of a car. Illegal immigrant. He worked manual jobs, no knowledge of English, only a ninth grade education. He entered a years-long process for applying for asylum, obtained a work permit, helped run a youth program at his Silver Spring Parish in that's Maryland. And that's when he began to discern a calling for the priesthood. He very earnest and forthright. Fast forward, he's now, of course, a bishop. Now the point of all of this is that we're told that as a U.S. citizen since 2006, Bishop Meneval watches with dismay at what is happening today. I feel very much part of this migrant community here in the United States and Washington. So when I talk about immigrants, I'm talking about myself and my own experience, and also about my own fears and hopes as well. That's the reality that we're living these days. You have the fear to be detained, to be stopped, then to be sent to prison without due process. What are the current talking points of the Democrat Party? Oh, that's right. Due process, due process, due process. Even though this guy that they're yelling about, due process, had already been adjudicated twice to be an illegal immigrant and should be deported, they're still carrying on about due process, due process, due process. Okay, so keeping that in mind. Okay, this month, as Christians around the world were to celebrate Holy Week, Bishop Mandrell wrote a scorching essay in the Catholic Standard in which he denounced the federal government's shock and awe campaign of aggressive threats and highly visible operations of questionable legality that go far beyond mere immigration enforcement. The bishop compared the abuse that is being inflicted on migrants to the passion of Christ before the crucifixion. Catholic organizations have been proactive in extending services to immigrants, including holding informational sessions on their legal rights and offering help with them finding lawyers. Obviously, it is a chaos now because we don't know what's going to happen, but we are just doing what we can as a church, the bishop said. More troubling to the bishops are the inaction and silence on the part of Catholics themselves. That's many of you he's talking about you. A majority of whom voted for President Donald Trump. Some of them are complacent. And not only because they are silent, but because somehow they are celebrating what Trump is doing. Nor does Mingivar spare some of his fellow clergy from his criticism. Priests are not necessarily afraid, but they think that they shouldn't be talking about this issue, that it's not their concern. And that's why the Pope kept asking us, do we have a heart? Or are we losing our conscience and our heart? Because it seems like many people are not moved by the suffering of others, and that is very pitiful. It goes on to quote, the article goes on to quote Pope Francis, how much contempt is stirred up at times toward the vulnerable, the marginalized, the migrants. And I don't know, these articles. So if you voted for Trump, if you believe that the laws of your nation should be enforced, if you believe that people shouldn't break the law, and if you believe that the church should actually be in the forefront of advising people to follow the laws of their land as long as those laws are just laws, then you are being accused by this and others of being a not compassionate person, not having a heart, not caring about the suffering of others. You know, it's an amazing thing. I never hear any of these the people like that. I don't know this bishop. I don't want to make this personal. But I never hear the same kind of message being sent from left. Well, why do you say left? Because they're using Democrat talking points. That's why. I never hear the same kind of criticism being leveled at any of the dictators and the governments of these countries where migrants are fleeing for their lives. I never hear the concern about where are your hearts being directed toward the people that are making conditions such that people have to flee these countries. I never hear them directly demanding that the people that are awful, these gang members, the people that are causing such widespread true horror and misery in the world, be held accountable and be punished for it and taken out of the circulation of society so that they cannot inflict harm on others. I never hear those messages. The only messages that I hear, the only people ever being condemned by these people are the people who actually respect the laws of America and who want America's laws to be followed. They are the people that are being held in contempt. The people that break the law are celebrated as the heroes. And we're all supposed to just bend over, grab the ankles, watch when they break American law, and shut the hell up about it. And because they're nice people, and because the bishop feels that no matter what their grave circumstances are, they deserve to break our laws and to get away with it and to be rewarded for it. But you, if you dare stand up for following the law, for doing the right thing, then you're not a person of compassion. You don't have a heart. And I tell you what, it is maddening. And just for the record, I am very compassionate for the people that are genuinely suffering. And yes, I recognize that there are people who are crossing the border, putting their life on the line because they want a better life for themselves and for their children. And you know what? Americans did that too. And we rose up in rebellion against the tyrants and created a country that we could at least have a fighting chance in. And it is time for some of these nations that are forcing people to flee to be called into account. I got it. I'm running my mouth and time is. Oh. One of the great, and now politics, a lot of it I disagreed with in the later years. But are you kidding? A man of courage, conviction, honor, beauty, majesty. Harry Belafonte, American singer, actor, civil rights activist, a man of courage, passed away from congestive heart failure at his home, Upper West Side of Manhattan 2 years ago, 2023. This man's life was amazing. Harry Belafonte. Remembered here, James Golden, Snerdley. It's the Friday edition of Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. Don't go away.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
This podcast is supported by Progressive, a leader in RV insurance. RVs are for sharing adventures with family, friends, and even your pets. So if you bring your cats and dogs along for the ride, you'll want Progressive RV Insurance. They protect your cats and dogs like family by offering up to $1,000 in optional coverage for vet bills in case of an RV accident, making it a great companion for the responsible pet owner who loves to travel. See Progressive's other benefits and more when you quote RV Insurance at Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Pet injury is an additional coverage and subject to policy terms.
Heavenly birthday for one of the greatest of all time. The one, the only Ella. Ella Fitzgerald. Born in 1918. Passed away in 1996. The one, the only, the incomparable Ella. Lady Fitzgerald. James Golden, Snerdley.
James Golden, a.k.a. Bo Snerdley, presents Rapid Phones.
Let's go to Ronnie in California. Ronnie, how are you?
I'm so fine, Bo. My favorite guy. Bo.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to call you back tomorrow, too, because I don't like being on the last end. But listen, the Word of God says the law is for the lawless, right? The law is for the lawless. Think of that real fast. It's starting to become the law is for the lawless because the Christians and those who have a relationship with the Lord don't need the law. They're going to follow the good of the, just good. They're good by heart. So they're not trying to harm their brothers and sisters and whatnot. The law is for the lawless. But in this context, with the world being turned upside down, it's starting to seem like the law is for, again, the lawless. because they're getting
Wow.
away with just everything. But I'm going to call you back. I'm going to set my alarm clock for you.
All right. You said she's out in California, too. And God willing, we will be here bright and early. I look forward to talking with you tomorrow. Thank you so much.
All right, honey.
Let's go to Pete in New Jersey. Pete. Very quickly, my friend.
Yeah, Mr. DeFranco, a lawyer in Boston, turned the judge in for doing the same thing.
And that case was dropped.
Federal marshal that was there. Wasn't ICE, but a federal marshal.
That's right. And that case was dropped. And so they're acting like this is the first time it happened. But some of these liberal judges have been doing this on purpose. Judith, quickly. Thank you, Rich, in Brooklyn. Got a few seconds, Judith.
Hey, I gave you a standing ovation for you today. Fabulous. But I want to talk about George Santos. I don't know. I got a kick out of him. I hate liars, but he's my exception. He's also my poetic justice to these huge liars and corruptors in politics, like Joe Biden. So he learned from the best. Okay, he was very articulate.
Okay, we got it. Judith, on that happy note, I have to leave because it's time. May God bless and protect each and every single one of you, your families, your loved ones. Love and gratitude, my friends, for your being here with me, allowing me to be with you. God willing, we are back early in the morning, 7 a.m., and hope you, like Ronnie out in California, will set your alarm clock and be with us. Until then, my friends, I bid you adieu. Remember, one square. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. You can hear Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour weekdays at 4 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?